Hello, welcome to the show. This is just simple endgame problems. This is a practice set, which means you get problems adjusted to your level. And my level? What is my level? Beginner to intermediate, I think. I would not call myself an intermediate player because I'm not good enough. So I'm just starting out. And I've been only playing for a couple of years actively. Maybe 5 years, 6 years. How long have you been playing chess? So we don't solve on time. This timer here, or watch, clock, whatever you want to call it, does not matter. What matters is getting the right answer and getting the right answer and avoiding the wrong answer. I got a cup of coffee here, like that, and some water. You gotta drink water when you solve endgame problems. That's my tip, pro tip of the day. And this problem is quite tricky because you have to take the queen elegantly and not just take the queen right away. Taking the queen now just leads to a draw, and that's not good. So it's a win for black. There are only winning problems in this set. There are no drawing problems. So what you do is you convert to a win. And yeah, what we want to do here is try to check the king and then move the black king up the board and then take the white queen. But it's not as easy as it looks. Gotta turn off these speakers. And yeah, it's kind of hard. I'm thinking about queen d7, because queen d7, and then I can go king b5, b6, king b6, queen d7 check. Only move is king b8. But if I play king b6, then I get queen b7 check. And that looks like perpetual. Is it though? Because queen d7, only move is king b8. Question is, what do I do next? Maybe I just play queen c6 right away. Queen c6, king a7, and then queen b6 is mate. So he has to play king b8. But then I go... Oh, I think I have it. Yeah, now I go... now I go... Okay. It takes 6 moves longer. I gotta check the solution afterwards. So queen d6 check, but then just king b7, and I'm not gaining any terrain. How about queen b6? I think king b6 is wrong. King b6 and queen a7, king b5 and queen because once the queen gets in, I have to avoid a direct contact with the white queen. Is that it? Because I have to prepare a move so that the white queen does not take the black queen. Because as it stands now, the white queen, if she were to move, she would just take the black queen and it's a draw. So thinking that's an ID. Yeah. Because now the question is, the problem with queen b6 is queen b7, and then it's a pin, and in the next move you just take. So I cannot play a quiet move like queen d7 either, because of queen b7. That's a fork, and then queen takes queen and it's a draw. And also cannot play something like yeah, I said queen b6 was not possible, and queen d7 not possible, but queen d6 check. Queen d6, king. Is that it? No. I don't think I can play queen d6. I don't think I've had many problems in this position. Usually around my rating, I get a lot of knight endgames, rook endgames, rook and pawn endgames, and bishop and pawn endgames. There are a lot of variations, so around the 1500 mark, where I am currently, there are a lot of rook endgames, and they have they can be very tricky. Because you have to be precise. And you have to be precise in this position as well. So snap your fingers and move the queen. Because that's what you have to do. Like I said a few minutes ago, I cannot make a move such that the queen, white queen, can take the black queen. Which means, in this position, I cannot move the king. If I move my king, then the queen takes, and it's a draw. So we have what have we done? Is it called deduced or induced? I have no idea. Yeah. So I'm not very smart when it comes to words, but just being silent is probably more smart sometimes. But when you're making a chess video, you cannot be silent. So you have to talk constantly and never let there be any dead air. So yeah, come. What about queen? Is queen e8 any good? Queen e8 and the king just stays around the 7th rank. Obviously not queen e8 and king c7 because of queen takes a8. But queen e8 and king b7 and king c6. Queen e8 and queen e8 and king b7. And that doesn't really get us anywhere. It's a kind of strange. Yeah. So they definitely not do queen b6. So question is, can I go queen e8? Do I have to go queen e8? Because I have a feeling that there must be a check move. Oh yeah, I've spent 11 minutes already. How about that? Just 4 pieces, and we have spent 12 minutes now, so it's 3 minutes per piece. 3 times 4 is 12, or 12 divided by 4 is 3. So that's a long time. Yeah, I cannot allow the white queen to take the black queen. So am I forced to play queen e8? And now, like we saw in the last move, maybe I go queen check. Yeah, I think I have to check. Always have to check the white king. Obviously I have to check right now, and I have to move the queen because my queen is hanging. Obviously not taking the white queen because it's a draw. But I don't see how I can engineer the plan on taking the white queen. So I have to take the white queen, obviously. But I have to get the white king away from the Wow, am I that far out in my planning that I don't know what to do? So how do I do this? How do I get the white king? I don't think I can do it. What, queen e3? Queen e3 and then king b7. Queen e3 and then king either b7 or b8. Only 2 moves. But I don't see how I'm progressing. If I go queen e3 and some either, I can go queen e3 and then go queen e4 or queen e5. depending on. And I do think I'm getting closer with this. And I said queen e5. But now that I'm here, I don't know if I should do it. I should probably think more ahead. Think better and think better. Better aheader. Better more ahead. Better. Calculate better. Visualize better. Yeah. Very tough. Very tricky problem. I think we're gonna play this problem for about 20 minutes. Would not be surprised. But queen e5 and... Well, I said queen e5, so maybe I just go with queen e5. And if I go queen d5 now, it's... Maybe I go queen g7. Can I go queen g7? Asking for a friend. Let's just have a sip of some coffee. Queen e7 or queen g7? Are those the two moves? Those two moves are probably something I would play in a real game. But in a real game, in this position, I would have lost on time a long time ago. Because I was spending 17 minutes here. So, yeah. I really can't see how this is a win for black. It's really hard to just... The dream position is just the queen. White queen is gone. And it's not stalemate. That would be the ideal position, and then I get to checkmate. How about queen e7? And then is the only move king b8? I feel like I'm in the same position as in the last few moves ago. Maybe I'm queen... Maybe queen e7. No, I don't think so. I think queen g7. And now... I can go king b6. Can I go king b6? I thought that king b6 looked good because of the threat of checking with the queen on the 8th rank. But if king b6 and then if I go king b6, then probably queen e5 check. But I can go up the board with king. Yeah, king b6. King b6, threatening mate on queen c7. And queen b7 is not possible because a queen takes b7 check. I think king b6 looks very aggressive. But I have to move in the king closer somehow. So this is a queen against a queen endgame. How often have I seen that? I said previously I have not seen very many of these. I talked about the rook endgames and the bishop endgames, but queen against queen, very rarely. Yeah, king b6 and queen b8. I think I'll go king b6, and if I fail the problem, okay, we will have to correct. Yeah. It's queen f8. We'll just have to look at the computer solution. Queen e7. So the queen now is slowly going up the board. And if king b7, what's the move now? King, but how do I get the queen in? The king in? So now, okay. Now it's time to get the queen in. And it's not a stalemate with queen takes a5 because of king a8. Yeah, king a8 is the only move. And now we're just checkmating. Maybe like this, or the other one was... Oh, this is one too. Oh, that's very nice. And this is also very nice. Well, what did we learn? I don't know. This is one of my dark spots in chess. I know it's there, but I cannot see it. Well, it's like chess. Chess is like that sometimes. You see things, and then you don't see things. Well, that's very basic, stupid thing to say, but okay. So I played the back to this one. Queen e3 was okay, yeah. And then I went... How did I go wrong? I had to play queen f8 somewhere. And this is where I went wrong. So you just run the king up. Yeah. Okay. Very, very hard problem. Very hard problem for me. Maybe it was easier for you. I don't have many queen against queen endgames. But this is more a familiar endgame. Queen against pawn plus pawn. I like to call the endgames queen against pawn and pawn instead of queen against two pawns because of the alphabetization. It's easier to write down in a list. I make a list. I like making lists. And and this is probably a mate in two. question is, yeah, there is a mate in 2 with queen, with king f5 and then king f5 and queen h8. So if the king f5, king f5, and then only move is g6, and then queen h8 is mate. So there are no stalemates either. I think I'll play king f5. Only move now is g6. And now I go queen h8. Gotta double check, is it mate? There are no tricks? No? I think queen h8 is mate. Yes, it is. So that was easier than the previous problem. Not gonna lie. And here we are with the very familiar rook endgames. And here we have to move the rook. Remove the rook and not check the king. So maybe either I go rook a4 or I go rook b4, because I want to get, yeah, just bottom line, I want to get closer to the pawn. And if something like something pointless like rook h4, then just king g5. So I will just go rook b4 check. No, sorry, that's not check. Rook b4. And I can just go a5, a6 freely after that. If I play rook a4, then I'm just wasting a move because of rook b3 check. So I go rook b4. I go rook b4, and then I go a6 later on. Oh, I wasted a move. And now I go a6. And maybe I go king a4. King a4 or king b6. King a4. King a4 or king... Yeah, that would be king a4. King a4 and then rook e6. But then if I go rook king a5, then rook e5 check. So yeah, I go king a4, rook e6 check. No, rook e6 check is no good because of b7. No. If I play b7 there, I think the pawn cannot be guarded. So rook. Yeah, rook e6 is okay. How about if I play king b6? But then again, rook e6, king b7, rook e7, and it's just I'm getting checked all the way, and the king is not exactly safe, and I'm not progressing the pawn. Wow, this is a tough one, relatively speaking. I mean, subjectively speaking, it could be tough for others too. So I must go king a4. No. Now king a5 and rook e5 and rook b5. And if rook b7, then rook e6 and rook b6, and then rook e7. Yeah, question is, how do I get my king to follow my pawn? So checking the black king seems pointless. Because if rook f4 checked, then rook g5, and I'm not really happy. Yeah. No. Okay, no b6, b7, of course. Because of rook takes b6. Rook takes b7. But how? Yeah, I'm not playing rook b7 either because of rook e5 check. And rook b5 and then rook e7, and it's just a big question mark. And I don't think I can go king b6 either. Yes. We will wrap it up after this problem. It was a very intense. That was a very intense couple of problems. The first one, the queen versus queen, where I blundered draw. I mean, it was in the air all along that I should blunder the draw. So here we are. Maybe I go rook b5. Rook b5 looks very weird. And the rook a4 looks even very weirder, because rook a4 then just... Yeah, rook a4 and the black rook just checks freely along the e file, no matter what. No matter where the king goes. And I think I should avoid that. But what is the move now then? Do I go rook b5 and then try to go... it's really hard to go rook b5, king a4, and rook a5. That's a very hard maneuver. Yeah. I'm not liking rook b5. And yeah, I really did mess this up. Because now I have to make even more moves. So the easiest thing to do is just memorize a couple of positions and try to get to those, I guess. Because it's a really waste of energy to sit here and visualize and calculate all these moves when I should just be learning how to play stronger moves. Yeah. Rather just play stronger moves and having to calculate fewer variations than being the type of player who can calculate a lot of moves but doesn't play strong moves. Yeah, but how do I learn to play stronger moves? I think watching Paul Keres games is good. He plays very strong moves. That seems to make a lot of sense to me. And of course Bobby Fischer does. Yeah, Fischer and Keres. Those are very strong chess games. I mean, usually. They make blunders too, but Keres and Fischer on a good day is very fun. Sorry, the mouse cursor is over the rook. And maybe think outside the box. Maybe I go something other than... So I already looked at king b5. Did I look at king b6? I think I did. Or maybe I didn't. Yeah, king b6, rook e6. And if then king a7 question mark, then rook e7, and you have the entire... yeah. So maybe I go... I think I go rook b5. We'll see what happens. And my plan was to play rook a4. I talked about the rook b5 and king a4 plan. Oh, I said the wrong one. Yeah. So it's been a long session. I feel my visualization skills are deteriorating. I'm not very endurance heavy when it comes to chess. So yeah, I played rook b5 and that was okay. But king a4, rook d4 check. Yeah, I have to get the rook behind the pawn. I think that's the idea. But now if I go rook a5, then rook b... No, if I go rook a5, then just king... The king is in trouble. Aha. I go like this now. And now I sneak the king in. Did I just... Ooh. Now I play king b8, right? Okay. I think I made the last few moves a little too quickly. Yeah, I progressed too quickly. I didn't think. Because now I think that I can play king b8. But this is a very important part of the game. Not game, but the problem. King b8 and then a8 queen. Yeah, king b8. Now what? Yeah, I don't think that I'm afraid of rook h8. That's what I was gonna say. Because now the rook falls, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's just before we call it a night, we'll just see where it went wrong. I played king a4. Was this the... I was very surprised to see king f6. Doesn't the rook just check here? No, it's a pin, you know. Ah. Now it's a pin. Oh, I see. What was I thinking? Okay, now I see my problem. I think I see my problem now with rook e5 check. Because I said that I would go here. And that's not good. You don't have to go up with the king. You can just line up the rooks. Yeah, you line up the rooks. And then you take. Ah, this is very nice, yeah. I forgot about the pins. Okay, so that's about it for this session. Those first few problems were pretty tough. I mean, the queen and the queen was tough. Then we had a mate in 2. And then it was this problem. So, yeah. This was a very tricky session. But if you made it all the way through to the end, then that's great. And I hope to see you next time. So bye for now.